What if I told you frying your ogbono takes the flavor to another level? That's exactly what I did in this recipe, and the taste unmatched. It gives the soup a deeper, smokier richness that you just don't get the usual way. It draws beautifully. Whether you're a first timer or an ogbono regular, this twist is one you'll want to try. Now, let's talk about what's going into this delicious pot. I'm keeping it traditional and with a little twist because I added okra for the extra draw and smoothness. Palm oil, and I'll also be using paprika powder, black pepper, seasoning cubes. I'll be adding crayfish as well, and I'll be blending my crayfish, and I'll also be adding sauce. We are starting off by boiling our meat. I used beef and some parts of meat, and I'll be seasoning with seasoning cubes. I'll also be adding my salt and paprika powder for that fresh redness. I'll also be adding black pepper to this, and I'll be adding water. I will stir properly so that everything will incorporate properly together and get to know themselves and marry each other, and let that cook until everything is tender and well flavored, because the meat stock is the foundation of the soup. Next, I'm going to add in my deboned fish and make sure I stir it properly together. Then I'll be adding in my pomo as well, adding in a little bit of water and stir properly to combine. Once the meat is ready, I set it aside and move to the soup base. In a hot pot, I heat up my palm oil, and once the palm oil is hot, I pour in my ground ogbono and begin to stir. This is where the twist comes in. I am frying the ogbono. Not everyone does this, but it gives the soup a richer flavor and helps it draw even better. Make sure to keep the heat on low while stirring so it doesn't burn or clump. Now I stir and stir and stir some more. This part is all about patience, because the more you stir, the smoother and stretchier it gets. Next, I'm going to be adding in my meat stock from our meat that we already cooked earlier. I'm still going to stir and stir and stir. At this point, I'm adding in my pepper mix after frying the ogbono. Pepper mix comes in after I've fried the ogbono properly with the oil. Next, I'm going to be adding in my cooked beef. By the way, I already added my deboned fish to this stock while cooking the beef earlier on, so everything goes in at this point. At this point, I just keep stirring gently on low heat. You want everything to come together slowly so the soup draws well and doesn't get lumpy. So I will be adding in a little bit of salt, because I already added salt to my meat stock, my meat earlier when I was boiling it. So I'm just going to be adding a little bit of salt and stir properly together. Also note that the stirring you do for ogbono soup is arm workout with what it talks about, but it's worth it for the perfect draw. At this point, I'll be adding in my ground crayfish. Crayfish I showed you guys earlier on, I've blended it and you stir again to properly combine. I'm going to be adding in seasoning cubes. Now we'll be going in with the twist of this ogbono soup, which is the okro. So I'll be adding in my okro at this point and stir properly to combine. You keep stirring, guys, so that everything is well combined together. And now we'll be adding in the periwinkles and you stir, stir, stir again. One reason I love making ogbono and okro is because it's filling, healthy, and my kids actually eat it without stress. Lots of fiber, easy to digest, and full of goodness in every scoop. That's it, guys. Rich, thick ogbono soup with okra and a little twist. If you've never tried frying your ogbono, this is your sign to do it. Let me know how yours turns out in the comments. I love hearing from you, and if you enjoyed this, you don't want to miss what I'm cooking next. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss it. Don't forget to like, guys.